I'm John, and my buddy and partner in crime and business and leadership and all the things, Eddie, is with us. We're coming at you from Virginia Beach, Norfolk area on the East Coast in North America. And we've got a good friend, Clare Smith, with us today. She's going to coach us through the leader mindset tool. And but you're coming from Ohio. It's bright and sunny out here. It looks bright and sunny where you're at. It's high tide right now, but we're excited to be here. And I'm really looking forward to hearing your insights. You have 7% of the population's gifting and voice, and you bring what not a lot of people bring to the table. So we're really grateful to have you. Walk us through probably a more pioneer voice-esque tool today, the leader mindset. But Clare, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey guys, good to be here with you. Thanks for having me on. I am in the thriving metropolis of Canton, Ohio. I'm in downtown Canton right now at our leadership center, so tucked away in this amazing old building, and it is sunny. We have had lots of rain, so we are very thankful for the sunshine. So a little bit about myself. I have been married for nearly 20 years, and I feel like that deserves an award at this point in our lives and generations. So let's just put that out there. I've got two kids, yes, that will be moving quickly into the summer, a little too quick. If you're a parent, you understand what I mean. When the kids come home for the summer, it's a total shift of the energy and momentum in a house, as well as the grocery budget. So my son is a sophomore, my daughter is an eighth grader, and I've kind of done a mixed bag of things over the past, I would say 10 to 12 years. I worked in corporate America, actually was hired when I was in college, and was hired to a company called Diebold. We made the ATMs and banking equipment. They're headquartered out of here in North Canton. So worked in a variety of positions, and then stayed home when I had my son, and then my daughter took a little turn into becoming a fitness instructor. So I teach Pilates at the local college still. I am almost like 16 years in. I keep joking that I'll be a grandma teaching in front of all these college students, but they keep me young. So it is something fun I enjoy. I've had an online ministry, which has been a little flat over the past few years since the pandemic, and as I've been kind of pivoting a bit as well in what I'm doing with what I feel God has for me. But at the end of the day, really coaching the heart of calling people up into better things, lighting a little bit of a fire underneath them. There is no doubt when you sit across from me, you will feel a little bit of intensity and direction and a little push to move forward, but all done totally with a heart of love. I do truly believe I see the best of somebody on the other side, and for me to allow them to sit into that, into whatever is stopping them from moving forward, it just doesn't work with me. So I'm a bit of a catalyst. I tell people, if I'm a newer friend in your life, watch out. God must be rocking you in some way or another, because most people are going through some transition, change, and phase in life when they kind of come close. And of course, vice versa. I learned so much from the people God places in my past. So there's a little bit about myself there.
Yeah, and if you want to learn more, and I'm sure you will after we're all said and done, check out Clare's website. It's a great site, Clare. You've done awesome with that. I need to hire your people. But what I love about it is unapologetically you.
Yeah.
You are self-aware. You know yourself. You know what you enjoy. You know what you love, and it's on your site. And it's pulling back. And letting us get to know you, and beyond it's pulling back the professional screen in a sense, and we really do get a sense for who you are and what you stand for, what you love. And one of the things on there is about your friends. You have friends from all different walks of life.
Yeah,
they're not like you necessarily, and so to your point, excited to have you here and just continue to pull some of that wisdom and love out of your heart today for us. So
absolutely.
Thank you. Thanks for being with us. This is the leader toolkit session, and we're covering the leader mindset. So would you walk us through? I'll share my screen.
Yeah, that'd be great.
walk us through what is a metric that every leader needs to use for success. What as a leader, we may lead others, we all lead ourselves. How do we know if we're leading well? What does it mean to be a leader?
Well, I think that is a great segue, John, because one of the first things I wanted to share, and if you've been around any of our Giant content or any of the leadership content, leadership for us is not just about you yourself personally hitting your goals. There are models of leadership training that will get you there, and there's lots of books that are centered around that. But truly, when we think about what it is to be a leader in the context of how Giant discusses it and talks to it, it is really about bringing others to their best as well. Okay, so we are going up we're summiting the mountain as well as bringing others up with us. We're not just going up to the top, because when we hit the top and we look around to enjoy the view, who are we doing it with? It's not as exciting when you're by yourself. And so for us, really, what we like to look at as far as leadership and how well are you doing it is not just are you hitting your goals, but what's it look like for everybody else who's following you? And that's influence in your life that you have. Leadership is one of those words that's thrown around. It's kind of, I think, like the word love. It gets watered down a little bit. And I think everyone has different views when I throw the word out of leadership. And so it is definitely one of those things that you want to consider when you're like, okay, what is a leader? It is for myself to summit, but it's also to bring others up. And so the leader mindset is really just a great way for us to kind of give some really objective questions as to what that looks like for us and kind of the heart behind what Giant does. I started with this content in the fall of 2018. Somebody who was getting certified in Giant was doing a leader intensive with me. And I will tell you the one phrase that she said, and it was at the top of that tool there, that liberation is fighting for the highest possible good in the lives of those that they lead. That sentence, I left there, I texted her and I said, will you screenshot or send me that sentence again? I had never seen something so powerful that to me simplified exactly what I felt like my heart burned for. And so liberation, leadership at its essence in Giant, and we really define this as love, is fighting for the highest possible good in the lives of those that we lead. And so for us, I want you to think about what this is like. Think about someone in your life that is following you. And so you can be a parent. Many times we've got lots of kiddos as well. So if you're not leading a team or not in charge of an organization, you still have influence over people. I even think about if you're part of teams or community organizations, churches, whatever, you've got an opinion. I always been like, well, how do you describe what influence is? Everyone's got an opinion on something, and they want their opinion heard, received, and then acted upon. That is basically what you're doing when you're talking about influence. So there's lots of pockets of areas in your life that you can apply this to. And so you want to think about, is there someone in your life that is following you? And that is exactly how we would start to move on to this tool. Guys, do you have anything else you'd like to add to that before we get into the rest of it?
Eddie?
No, this is great. I have been tracking with the definition of love as fighting for the highest good. It's honestly what enamored me to the idea and imagination of what leader could be, right? So please continue.
Yep.
Yeah. Perfect. We'll just walk through what this tool is able to do. There's just some 3 basic questions. So again, I want you to think about that person that you are leading. And let's not forget, we also lead ourselves, okay? So we are fighting for the highest possible good of multiple people. First question, what specific support and challenge do they need from me? So I don't know if you guys have seen our support challenge matrix. It's one of our anchor tools that, again, sold me on the heartbeat of Giant and what we do, because it was just a beautiful description, a simple description of really what liberation is. Okay, so it is this ability to calibrate, we use that word often, support and challenge. And it's not general, it's specific. So it requires you to kind of know who's behind you and what makes them move and tick and motivates them. Where are they going to be caught? Like, what are the things that'll bring them down? which brings you into number 2, the tendency and pattern most undermining their influence. Again, when you're thinking about bringing someone up the mountain with you, you've got to know the things that are going to catch them. If you're like, they're going to have problems consistently with how they come across in meetings, then that is something that you want to work on. If you know that they're coming across, they don't have the endurance to get up the mountain because they don't have resilience, if you will, in something, well, then that is a way for you to be very specific in the training and how that they will move forward to get to their highest good. And then the final question is, how do you help them get to the next level? So this is where we're really specific about next steps. It is one thing to diagnose somebody. It is one thing to be like, here's your problem, here's your greatness, fantastic, hug it out, or here's all the things you need to work on. But what is it actually now? To take them and say, here's what we're doing, and I'm going to keep you accountable on it. And then that's going to make you go up the mountain as well. And so those are 3 basic questions that in any context, again, me as a mom, I'm looking at this for my kiddos. I'm probably not as intentional as I should be in my life with this, but that's a very applicable tool for me as well, and to anybody else that you have. So there's the basics of the leader mindset. Guys, anything else or any feedback or questions on that?
I'd love to do a lightning round with each one and ask you, Claire, what does support and challenge look like for you in your context? Or just as we think about what support and challenge would look like as we are doing that with others, how do you define support and challenge?
Okay, so how do I define support and challenge for different people, you're saying, or for whatever? Yep. So support would basically be, number 1, that they know that you are for them. We often say that you have the relationship that is working to where they are like, yeah, this person has my best interest in mind. And so what does that look like? It varies depending on your personality, relationship context, bringing them a coffee, spending some extra time with them. If you're someone, my type of personality, the pioneer, guardian, pioneer, we don't need a lot of warm and fuzzies in life, okay? So support for us is typically just a strong, like, pat on the butt and like, good job, and then move forward or such. But also hearing that back. Challenge, of course, would just be, depending on what's going on. For me, I'm always going to be needing to be challenged in regards to emotional aspects, connections with people, slowing down what I need to do in life. And so I need somebody kind of circling around me, reminding me of those different things. So that's support and challenge kind of for me in my life. Again, I think it looks a little different. Eddie, are you wanting to ask other people on that one, or?
No, that's great. You for sure. And then the tendencies and patterns most undermining their influence. Can you hash that out for us? What does that look like as we are able to pick the broccoli in someone else's teeth, to be a friend and let them know, and walk them through the process of knowing themselves to lead themselves?
Yes. Do you want to put up the Know Yourself to Lead Yourself slide, John? I think last month, Corey went over this. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
yes,
I believe so. So our tendencies and patterns, we definitely have, there it is. There's our Know Yourself to Lead Yourself. We use this all the time with clients. We have our tendencies at the bottom, which are hardwired. We say that those don't change. Nature, nurture, and choice have provided these natural tendencies in life, which every day we start to do things in life which create our little patterns. Okay, they are patterns and just like little footprints in the carpet that continue into real life actions. Those actions have real consequences, okay? So the things that we do every single day end up having consequences in life. We know this inherently. And then those consequences give us our day-to-day reality. And we sit in life wondering, I don't like my life right now. And we're like, why is that the case? We often blame it on a whole bunch of other things without turning the mirror on ourselves to look at our personal tendencies and perhaps how we are engaging and walking through that. So when we talk about undermining yourself, we start with our tendencies, those hardwired areas that, again, that you're just naturally doing. We like to say you accidentally do as opposed to intentionally step into. So there are things that you bring to the table that you are probably undermining your influence with. So again, that runs the gamut. This guy, I was doing a coaching session this morning with a guy, and his tendency is to only go to the flashy project. As soon as a project requires him to stick with it, okay, as soon as a little discipline and I say boringness, when the sexy is gone, he's done. His tendency to do that, which is great. He's an idea generator. He's got energy. That's a fantastic tendency in the positive. In the negative, what happens is he drops the ball. He's a project manager. So he's not getting the job done in the way that he needs to. So he has to catch that tendency. He has to be aware of the fact that he loves the flashy and he's not attracted to the boring. And so then how does he change himself through the loop there? And that's powerful. That starts to actually become the moment. You're not going to change the tendency. And I told him, I'm like, you're going to probably reset this, but you can change how you react to it. So anyway, that undermines his influence. His boss is certainly not going to give him more projects if every single time he gives it to him, he just drops the ball. But he's like, why isn't he giving me anything? I've got capacity and energy. Well, there you go.
Yeah. Hard realities if you continue on that path. So yeah, I loved everything you said. One thing that really stuck out to me was that everybody can sit here and we can point out the problems in each other's lives. The difference between being a person who just points out the problems to a Sherpa or a guide or a liberating leader is that I have the tools, that I know how I can help you get to the next level. How do I help you get to the next level? And that's what these tools allow for. That's what they're here for, and that's what this space is for. We just want to give a short 20 minutes throughout your month and encourage you to continue fighting for the highest possible good of those that in your life that you lead. And we have received so much from others, and just like your friends, Claire, and we want to be able to give back, and this is one of those ways that we can do that. So I hope it's impactful for you. Shoot us a message, email us if you're interested. Eddie posted Claire's website URL in the chat. Check that out. Hit us up, John, Jon, at surrendernetwork.com or Eddie, EDY, at surrendernetwork.com. Would love to get you guys in touch or connect or just get to know you even more. It's great to see some new faces on here. Claire, awesome. Thank you so much for the encouragement. I definitely am gain motivated over pain motivated. And this is like the echelon. This is the peak of the mountain, right? Like this is what gets me excited and going. So thank you so much for bringing the word this morning.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah. Excited for next month. We'll be back here second Tuesday, 11 a.m. Eastern. Hope to see you all back.